Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are going to break down one of the most important, most fundamental building blocks in pretty much all of programming. This is a tool that you use dozens, maybe hundreds of times a day without even realizing it. So let's just dive right in. We're talking about the array.
So, to really get why arrays are such a big deal, let's start with a problem. Let's imagine you've just built the next smash hit video game. Awesome. But now you need a leaderboard. You got to track the top 100 high scores. Sounds simple enough, right? But how do you actually, store that information in your code?
You could try to create a separate little box of variable for every single score, but just look at this. We're only at score number 10 and it's already a complete mess. Can you imagine trying to wrangle 100 of these? It's just total chaos. It's clunky, it's a nightmare to work with. There's just gotta be a better way, right?
And luckily for all of us, there absolutely is. It's called the array. And it's the beautiful, elegant solution that was invented specifically to tame this kind of chaos. So what is an array, really? Well, you can think of it as just a collection of items, like our high scores, that are all the same type. So they're all numbers, or they're all letters. And here's the magic part. They're all stored neatly together under one single name.
Probably the best way to picture an array in your head is to think of a row of storage cubbies, or maybe some numbered mailboxes. It's one single structure with one name on the outside, but inside it's got all these individual numbered slots. Seriously, if you can just lock in this one simple idea, everything else is going to click right into place.
Okay, so there are a few rules to the game, but they're super simple. First, everything you put in the cubbies has to be the same kind of thing. All numbers or all letters, easy enough. Second, you have to decide how many cubbies you need right at the beginning, and that size is fixed. And third, every single cubby gets its own unique number, which in programming we call an index. And get this is the one thing that trips up everybody at first. The numbering starts at 0, not 1. The very first cubby is always cubby number 0.
All right, so we've got the rules down. Now let's get our hands dirty and see how we actually build and use one of these things.
Okay, don't let the code freak you out. Let's just translate this into plain English, line by line. All this is saying is, hey, computer, I need a new set of cubbies. I'm going to call the whole thing my list. It's going to hold whole numbers, or integers. I need exactly 4 of them, and hey, while you're at it, just go ahead and put these numbers, 32, 11, -6, and 65, into those 4 cubbies for me. See? Not so scary.
And boom, this right here is what that one line of code creates inside the computer's memory. It's this perfectly organized little structure. The name MyList refers to the whole thing, and our numbers are just sitting there patiently in their slots, numbered 0, 1, 2, and 3. Just like that, we've gone from total clutter to perfect clarity.
Okay, pop quiz. Now that our data is all organized, how do we get something back out? Looking at this picture, what number is sitting in the cubby that has the index number 2? Yep, you got it. It's -6. Why? Because we start counting from 0. So index 0 is the first slot, index 1 is the second, which means index 2 is the third slot. So if we write mylist2 in our code, the computer gives us back the value -6. It's that simple. That's how we grab any piece of data we want.
So getting data in and out is neat, but that's not the real magic. The true power of an array is what it lets us do with all that organized data. This simple structure makes really complicated tasks surprisingly easy. Let's go back to our high scores. Trying to find the single highest score out of 100 messy variables? Forget about it. But with an array, it's a simple, logical recipe. You just told the computer, okay, grab the first number and pretend it's the biggest for now. Then just walk down the line of cubbies one by one. If you find a number that's bigger than the one you're holding, swap it out. Keep doing that till you hit the end. It's efficient, it's powerful, and it just makes sense. And finding the largest number? That's just the tip of the iceberg. Using that same walk down the line logic, you can do all kinds of amazing things. You can add up every single number in the list, you can reverse the order of the entire list, count up how many times a certain score shows up, or even make a perfect copy of the whole thing. This is why programmers love arrays. They're absolute workhorses. So far, it's been all about numbers. But what happens if our little cubbies are holding letters instead of numbers? Well, this is where arrays give us another incredible superpower. They let us work with text. To a computer, a word is really just a list of characters. So we can take a word like Lahore and store it in an array of characters, with one letter in each cubby.
L-A-H-O-R-E. And whoa, what's that funny little 0 at the end? That's called a null character, and it's like a secret little stop sign that the computer adds automatically to say, hey, this is the end of the word. And here's something kind of cool. Languages like C++ actually treat these character arrays as special. If you try to print an array of numbers just by using its name, you'll probably get some weird gibberish or an error. But if you do the exact same thing with a character array, the computer just knows what you mean. It says, oh, you want the whole word? And it just prints it out perfect.
Okay, let's zoom out. Let's step away from the code for a minute because this isn't just some abstract computer science thing. Once you understand what an array is, just an organized list of similar stuff, you'll start seeing them absolutely everywhere.
Think about the social media feed you were probably just scrolling through. What is it? It's a list of posts, a list of photos, a list of status updates. Each one of those posts is an item in a gigantic array. And when you scroll, the app is just showing you the next item from the list.
Or how about this? When you add something to your online shopping cart, what are you doing? You're adding a new item to an array. That shopping cart is literally just an array that holds all the products you want to buy. And calculating the total, that's just a program summing up the price of every item in the array.
Now, this one might blow your mind a little bit. The very screen you're looking at right now is made up of millions of tiny little dots called pixels, and they're all organized in a huge grid, which is really just an array of arrays. A massive two-dimensional list that's telling every single one of those millions of dots exactly what color to be at this very second.
So you see, from your phone's contact list to your music playlist, the humble array is the silent hero bringing order to our digital world. The next time you see a list on a screen, remember the cubbies. Remember that simple, powerful idea. What other fundamental lists can you think of that are quietly running your life?